VC, what's up? It's election day in America, and I'll be going to vote. I'm going to wait until the line dies down. There is a line. It's pretty obvious I'm not going to vote for Romney, but what's not obvious is that I just don't believe that either. I have no faith in the system at all. It's just broke as fuck, you know. And the main thing, the best that Obama can do is try, you know, because he's just, you know, he's up against a sea, you know, of self-interest, you know. Lord only knows whose pocket he's operating out of as well. You know, I see through the sham of the system. You know, it's broke. I'll vote because I have the vote. I have no faith in being represented. I know Romney could give an absolute shit about someone like me. So that's just real obvious. That man doesn't give a shit about me. You know. You know, anyone on my level of economy who thinks otherwise is, you know, to me, it's like, God, you know, you must be psychotic. It's like, what kind of brainwash food do they give you? I'd like to keep picking away at telling you about some of the records I bought. And Jimster 44, I have started to listen to the CDs that you gave me, but I'll still defer to making a complete thank you video. But I will thank you. I've listened to the two ECM CDs so far, and like them very much. I haven't gotten into the BBC recordings, and I want to look. I might have some BBC recordings. Maybe I have some stuff that you played on already in my collection. But back to my Chicago haul. I picked up when I excuse me. When I shop, depending on what I see, different people from the community and different people from my life pop in my head. And when I found this, I thought of Anderson Stockholm, because he is someone that appreciates and recognizes Jimmy Giuffre, the talent this man has. I was real pleased to find this Jimmy Giuffre 4, Quasar. Now, I have to admit that I've made a video that I didn't show, so I don't know if I've shown this yet. I may, but I'm going to show it today, because this was a really nice find. It was still sealed for like $6.99 on the Italian Soul Note label, which is a label to be trusted. And I'm going to drop the needle on this. I've only played a little bit of this, but I like this a lot. I love it when there's a bit of a blending of, not a bit, but I like it when people push boundaries, or just the sound is going different places. I like that. This is nice. This a lot. 1985. See right away, it's different, you know, for a Jimmy Giuffre record. Oh, I'm digging it. We need to stay with it for a little bit, because it's just getting started. I like this. And then when Giuffre is such a fine, soulful player, kind of maybe a master of understatement. it is, man. You heard them, man, blow. That's some deep feeling right there. This is some good shit. I was really happy to find this. What's nice though is the piece opens up. This is not all this piece does. It opens up into ensemble nicely. The Flight Egg I bought, it's side 2 that is the best. Side 1 is live and it's kind of hard rocky, you know, and it's like really kind of what I'm not interested in at all. It's like kind of crap actually. Side 2 is way cool of this. Flight Egg. See, now they get bump into some shit. This is nice. That's taste. I can imagine maybe some man's blowing, and this is nice, kind of unusual. I can imagine maybe someone with more of a traditional listening habit might poo-poo this, but I think this is great. This is a real nice find. This is the sort of thing that is hard to come across in Omaha. You know, this big stack of records was not easily acquired merely by having money. I bought a lot of these records for next to nothing and have scoured. You know, I've earned this wall of music. It's not easy to find what I'm looking for in Omaha. Some other things, though, that I want to share that I bought. Again, I do not remember what I showed, what I didn't, but I've played these things now. The Don Preston Filters, Oscillators, and Envelopes, 67 to 75. This is really excellent. Really excellent. Pure synthesizer electronic music. It's wonderful to hear the old filters and envelopes being manipulated and tweaked so expertly. You know, you can really tell that Don spent a lot of time with the equipment he had and had a good ear. It's not random. This was just released, I guess, in 2011 or last year or this year maybe. Thankfully, it finally came out. This is very, very good listening. Very good listening. Pop this on. This is a jam. It's not just a cover. This is just a stellar album. This has got to be a 10. Excuse me. Barbecue Dog is a 10. Okay. Music lovers, I think that's all you need to hear. This is a 10. I popped this on and thought I was going to go and start making dinner. Well, I did, but it actually interrupted dinner because I had to come back in here. It was sounding so good in the other room. Of course, you know, it's a record. You can take it off and put it back on. The music sounded so good in the moment, I interrupted making dinner to come in here and listen to this. 10. Ronald Shannon Jackson and the Decoding Society. This man is a bad motherfucker. Okay. I wanted you to hear a bit of that. I want to play another record that I bought. That it's sounding good. And it's my first solo album by Rick Laird of Mahavishnu Orchestra. My friend Gary Foster turned me on to the fact that Rick Laird had several solo albums, which I did not know anything about. And here's one, Soft Focus. I found this at Dusty Grooves, sealed for $2.99. Joe Henderson is on here. That's all you need to know. So check out this first track, okay? On the Timeless label, which is not collectible to my knowledge. I don't know if it is, but this is good. We'll start with the top opening track on side 1. Nice sax in the bass, playing 10. Yeah, and a nice Laird solo. He's a very laid-back player, real support artist as far as bassist. But when you listen to him, he's got a nice lyrical ear on the bass, real nice. Which I was just thinking about bass playing. You know, I had recently shared playing some Gentle Giant, and then Ernie asked me to cover some Rush. You know, I might do that for you, Ernie, but I want to point out that Ernie, that Rush bass lines aren't hard. They sound difficult, but they're not. They're not. Like this, I mean, if you really listen, this is some bass playing, you know, and this would be, Geddy Lee would be working to do what we're listening to right now. It's, again, it's my subjective opinion, but based on as much of a objective observation that my ears can make. Just wanted to say that right quick. Because I try to listen to music above and beyond my fandom. I try to actually listen to what's happening as opposed to just having a stance about, this is who I like and I'm defending him. Fuck that. It's like it's about the music, okay? So yeah, Geddy Lee is a very good bass player. And some of the things he does are a little tricky, but I've already learned several Rush songs and forgotten them. He's good. He's good. Chris gave this to me, and I have not listened to it all the way through yet. So Chris, I can't really give you the feedback that I know you want. But I can tell you this. His version of Visions on here by Stevie Wonder. Whoa. And the title track, Vista. Wow. And the opening track. This is something real beautiful and mysterious. Wonderful. I haven't got all the way through it though, but this is wonderful. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, but I gotta mention it again. Solar Flares by Sven Labak. Okay. Let's go to something I haven't mentioned. Okay. Something I took a chance on because of the cover and because it was marked down, even though it's new. Jens Corelius. I didn't know anything about the person when I bought this at Dusty Grooves. For some reason they had this for like $9. Still sealed and it's new. I like that visually quite a bit. Turns out this is a Norwegian folk-based singer. But thankfully this has an interesting approach sonically. I don't know about his voice so much, but the overall picture that is presented, I'm liking. It's not typical, and it's sonically interesting. So, I'm still not sure why this was so cheap, though. You know, maybe, I don't know, but I'm glad I took a chance on it. So far, I like what I'm hearing really well. I think I showed this, but I got to show it again because this was an amazing find. 49 cents in the cheapos at Restless. And this is one of the best records I got by Martes. A collaboration between electronic composer Eckhard Ehlers and Albrecht Kuntz. This is old, 2001. This is just what I like. Minimal, repetitive, but it just builds in a real subtle way. Just fantastic. What else can I show you right quick? Because I haven't listened to things. I did take a chance on an album that is mostly a dog, but it's like it was marked down at Restless, and it's one of those records where it's like, well, there's no way to find out unless you buy it, or if you're online and you see a cool cover and then you listen. So I took a chance on Gang Wizard. I liked the cover. Peeping it in the store, I liked it. I believe this is a collective out of California. And side 2 of this starts to catch. What this is mostly what I would call friends doing random stuff, that making noise, and parts of it are good. I think a lot of times what ruins stuff like this is when people sing or yell, and it's like not that well thought out, or it kind of feels like they're just doing it and it's what it sounds like. I know that I have made a lot of experimental recordings, and stuff like this, on this level, I won't even play for you, you know, as far as output. But I took a chance on it, and side 1 is dreadful, in my opinion. Just a few little snippets. Side 2, it's like the mess. It sounds like maybe the mess is going to become something. So, Gang Wizard. Maybe side 2 will come together. You know, I also have to say that I do know that if I was reviewing this and one of the band members were having to come into the room, it'd be kind of rough, but you know, it's like, I have to take it from others. You all tell me what you really think, so I get to say it too. Here are some 3 more classical-based albums that Chris Astral Traveler gave me. And I thank you again, Chris, because you do know that I'm always looking for things that are interesting at the very least, and kind of unusual, or just things that stand out. So here's an album he bought for me, Music for Glass Harmonica, Bruno Hoffman. I believe at one time he was considered the world's foremost glass harmonica player, and built his own. And this is for glass harmonica and ensembles. I just listened to a little bit of the Mozart on here, and this is wonderful. The sound of the rubbing your hands on wine glasses is just a wonderful. It's a tone and a timbre that you can't get otherwise, and I don't think that you can digitally do it justice by sampling it. You really can't. I want to thank you. I really appreciate this. On the Vanguard label, Illyrio Diaz, 4 Centuries of Music for the Classical Spanish Guitar. I love classical guitar, and in particular Spanish classical guitar. Mudara, Sor, Tarrega, badass. Villa Lobos, some of the most beautiful guitar music I've ever heard. And I love the fact that you got me one on Vanguard Stereolab. Yeah, baby. I came home with a fat bag of records. Thanks, Chris. Now, this next one is Ravel done on classical guitar, Giovanni de Charo. And what I'll have to say about this is, this was cheaply made, but the man can play these tunes. Sounds like he's playing in somebody's closet, you know what I'm saying? It's like they didn't have no money to make this record. But this brother can play. And I absolutely love Ravel. Just love Ravel. Popped a little bit of this on Charles Warrenen, and it reminds me, Elliott Carter just passed away. Let me see if I can dig up. I know I have at least one album on Elliott Carter. He was a 20th century composer. I'm just going to look for a second. If I can pull it, I will. Give him some props. Carter. Let me just, one more second, guys. I should, dang it. It must be Carter with someone else. Okay, I have one Elliott Carter album, but it might be a split where it's his work and someone else's, and maybe the other name is what it's under. But I just heard on the news this morning that Elliott Carter passed away. He was 100 and maybe, I think, like 103 years old. Obviously not a household name, but he was one of those composers who did not compromise his vision and needs to be heard. I have got some Elliott Carter in my collection. I know I do. Someone like maybe Oliver Messiaen or Schoenberg, one of those kind of people. It's 20 minutes. Shit, these things go so quickly, you know. I feel like I barely scratched the surface, but I just try to. This is too long to me because I'm at the point where I can hardly sit through most videos. No offense to anyone, it's just the way it is now, okay? But much love to you guys, you know, and oh man, music is the best.